And Grace, episode 14. Take one. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of On the Grace. My name is Dave Swerski, nephew of the legendary Bob Swerski of Bill Swerski's Superfans. And if you're here, you probably already know. It's been a tough season for us Bears fans. Hell, it's been a tough decade for some of us Bears fans. Double hell. It's been a rough lifetime for Bears fans around my age. Bears. So I'm gonna start this here episode out with this song that I wrote after last weekend. So make sure you're subscribed and all that, and that you've left a comment, and if you found solace in this here community of superfans, or Trudy's parody songs that I write and release, tell your friends to join you here, my friends. Bears, we cheer for the Bears, but the Bears are bad. Each year it brings more tears. Now 8 straight games I've cried. This team took a nosedive. Just 3 more games until the season's over. Through all my life I've tried to keep the hope alive, but it ain't easy when the team rolls over. Year after year, we get our hopes up, but it's so rare that things work out. The Bears, but this bad season, damn, it's got me wondering if they can ever turn this team around. Now 8 straight games I've cried. This team took a nosedive. Just 3 more games until the season's over. Through all my life I've tried to keep the hope alive, but it ain't easy when the team rolls over. The Bears, we cheer for the Bears, but the Bears are bad, so each year it brings more tears. The Bears. The Bears. So grab your favorite adult beverage and settle in for a Swerski deep dive on our beloved team, the Bears. As we sit currently at 4-10 in the midst of an 8-game losing streak. But before we dive into all that, let me remind you quickly of a way that you can help me out to continue to make these videos for you all. You can get that special super fan in your life a Swerski t-shirt or hoodie from the Dave Swerski merch store. The link is in the description to get 1 or 137 of them for you or your loved ones. I've seen a bunch of them start to float around since they became available just a few months ago, and it means a ton to me to see the support for my work and those of you who have worn them out and about. The merch. So get yours now. My good friends at Ray Gun handle the orders and the shipping, and it's a very, very smooth experience from what I've heard. Okay, it's time. Bears. While I had been on the record predicting a 123-3 victory for the Bears, the final tally was a swift kick to the jewels instead, as the Minnesota Vikings defeated the greatest franchise in all of sports by a final tally of 30-12. It was a miserable outing once again for our Bears, as even our once mighty defense, who used to keep us in the games our offense decided to only show up for the second half for, also failed to be able to stop the Vikes from having their way with us. Aaron Jones is a name that haunts a lot of Bears fans' dreams, and he has continued to have excellent performances nearly every time out it seems against us, whether he was wearing the puke green and yellow or now the royal purple and yellow puke. He seems to be a great human being, so I hate that I must hate him for always having having the Bears number his whole career. Our offense decided to take it slow once again and show us absolutely nothing in the first half or much of the game after that. And if you're like me, this game was the least emotion I've ever felt this season so far watching. Most of the game I watched through a hand on my face or my head, measuring my disappointment as the game went on by the angle at which my head was still able to consume the matchup. We crapped the bed on primetime yet again. We lost away yet again. It's been over a full calendar year, by the way, at this point, since the Bears have won away. Last time at Minnesota. Last year, November 27th. Yikes. It's brutal, and I felt your collective frustration with this team in your comments and your messages to me. And I'll be honest with you, it's hard to put on a brave Superfan face in times like these. But what I have learned from this little experiment of mine that I started last year is that our collective suffering binds us together in this misery. And if we have to endure this garbage, at least we have each other, right? This community that keeps growing here and throughout my channels fuels the fandom that I've had inside of me my entire life. To keep getting to channel this collective pain, hope, joy, sadness, disappointment, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, for you to all hopefully find some level of joy in being entertained by keeps me going. So I just want to thank you all for being there for me, even when our team is struggling to be there for us all. So here's what I got for you today on the Grass. A little Bears number nerdery to keep things interesting. And a little bit of some Swerski Silver Linings for y'all too. I'm gonna try. So let's take a look at a few scenarios for our beloved team this year as it closes out. 3 games left. First, let's talk about Caleb. I'm worried, and I know a lot of you are too, that we might ruin another one before they've had a chance to succeed. 58 sacks is disgusting, and a lot of that is on a bad and often injured and reshuffled offensive line. But a lot of that is on him too. He's young, he's learning. He's not seeing it as easy in the moment as it is for us in slow motion breakdowns to see what he's not seeing. He's holding the ball too long at times, and he's getting beat up, which is the hardest thing to watch. But listen to this. If I told you before the season started that he would have the following before the year was even done: Bears rookie QB record for completions, Bears rookie QB record for touchdowns, Bears rookie QB record for yards, and would be on a streak of 8 straight games of no interceptions and setting a rookie NFL record doing it, would you consider that a step in the right direction even if it meant the team was still a year away from the playoffs? Maybe. As someone who truly thought we could get to the playoffs this year, I'm still disappointed, but if I heard that before the season, it might make me hopeful for the future at least. Well, that's what he's done so far. 270 completions, rookie Bears record. 2,746 yards, rookie Bears QB record. 16 touchdown passes, rookie Bears QB record. And that no interception streak is very impressive too. Now, would I like to see him take a few more chances here and there and be a little more aggressive, maybe resulting in a pick sometimes? At this point in a lost season, yes. But ultimately, him taking care of the ball is a great thing too, and a step in the right direction. Just hasn't led to the results so far, but I see the forest through the trees on this one. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about Caleb. For me, the arrow is still pointing up, and I think he seems like a great kid with a good head on his shoulders, and I think he's handled this adversity that he surely wanted to avoid having in his rookie year with class. Now, let's move on to our rushing attack. I'm on 1K watch for DeAndre Swift. He's currently got 821 yards rushing, so with 3 games left, it's very much possible he'll get over the mark and hit 1,000. Who's the last 1,000-yard rusher we had, Dave? I hear you asking me. Well, I'm glad you asked, my friend, for I have the answer. And it wasn't a running back. It was Justin Fields in 2022. Before that, David Montgomery in 2020. In the great history of the greatest franchise in sports, the Bears have had 32 seasons with a 1,000-yard rusher. 7 running backs in Bears history have had multiple 1,000-yard seasons, with Sweetness himself topping the list with 10 of them. Then, one of my favorites to watch in my lifetime, Matt Forte with 5. Then Super Tecmo Bowl's own Neil Anderson with 3. Then 4 guys rounded out who all had 2, with Jordan Howard, Thomas Jones, Gale Sayers, and A-Train Anthony Thomas sharing that one. So, Swift could join the company of a lot of great Bears rushers of the past. And here's my silver lining I'm trying to find on this one. The offensive line and the blocking schemes this year seem all over the place, whether through design or execution. So to me, this only has room to improve next year. And so if he's able to get 1,000 this year, hopefully he can join the list of Bears greats to get yet another 1,000-yard year next year with even better blocking and scheme. I'd love to see us have the kind of tandem attack that the Lions have with Johnson as a complement to Swift, but we'll see how the offseason goes and who's in that room with Swift next year. Next up on the list of stuff that will keep me watching the games, will DJ Moore get to 1,000 yards? It'll be almost impossible at this point to beat his numbers from last year with 1,364 yards and 8 touchdowns. But with 5 TDs so far this season and 3 games left to play, he could possibly match or best the number of TDs he had from last year. Brandon Marshall, another one of my favorites to watch in my lifetime, still holds the record for the Bears as the only guy to go over 1,500 yards in a season receiving for us. And he and Alshon Jeffrey in 2013 became only the second pair of Bears receivers next to Curtis Conway and Jeff Graham in 95 to both get over 1,000 yards in the same season. Now, I know a lot of you, like me, had hoped that there was a high chance that that would happen this season with Keenan, DJ, and then Rome too, as on paper, massive improvements to our wide receiver room. But Keenan's at 553 currently, and Rome is at 624. So I doubt either one of them can get there this year. But DJ's got the best shot at it. Go DJ, get to 1K. Go DJ, and get to 1K. Ha! Bears. This is where my favorite team has me, my friends. Looking at prop bet style numbers on individuals' performance to see if they can get there over looking at if we can win games as a team. Because at this point, no playoffs for us. And while I'd love to say that we could play spoiler to our rifles, they all kind of look like they're gonna get in with or without that spoilage. So, up next, we've got Detroit again. And since the last time that we played them got a coach fired, who knows what this matchup will have in store for us. I'll be back on track this week with a game preview on that matchup for you all soon. But what I am afraid is very apparent now as we go into that matchup is I'd now put the chances that Thomas Brown could be the guy going forward at slim to none. I like his vibe. I love his beard. And the players do seem to like him. He was kind of put in an impossible situation. And with how massive of a hire this next head coach is for the future of this franchise, to start out at 0-2 and also have the offense take another step back seems like it's all but shut the door on that being an option. Hopefully the job is coveted by a lot of top coaching talent, because they simply have to get this one right. With all 3 coaches in the division being young and incredibly successful so far in their tenures, we've got to catch up. I hate to say it, but we are going to get left behind if we can't find our own Dan Campbell, Matt LaFleur, or Kevin O'Connell. I hope that Pulse and Warren and whoever else is making these decisions take their time, interview everyone. Don't get in a rush to make a splash or beat someone to someone. Just interview everyone, even if it means waiting until after the Super Bowl to bring in the right guy. My super fandom has me believing that they can do it, that they can get it right, but my history as a Bears fan my entire life has me very skeptical deep down. And I hate that, but it is true, my friends. Lovie is the only long-term successful coach in my lifetime that I remember. Now, my first 10 years in existence, we had the greatest coach in the history of professional sports. The coach. The Ditka. But my memory of being 10 or younger, it's a little fuzzy these days. Might be all the beer and the Polish sausage melting my brain, but I'd like to have another coach for a decade or longer that I can remember. So the Bears better act fast, because I don't know how many more years I'm gonna even remember in my lifetime. So let's go! That's gonna do it for the deep dive today, y'all. I am exhausted. I'm even too exhausted to go around the league and pick the games this week, so I'm just gonna say good day to you all, my fellow Bears super fans. Brighter days have to be ahead, because they can't get much lower. As always, be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves too. And even in these difficult times, I will never stop saying, Go Bears! Bear down, my friends, and I will see you soon. Bears.